So here we are today with my official 2021 NBA mock draft. It's going to be my final mock going into tomorrow's NBA draft. So what is going on, everybody? How is everybody doing today? Yeah, this is my annual official mock draft. We've done this for the last 4 different drafts, or maybe 5 now. And I'm going to be giving you guys my 2-round predictions on what I think will happen. This is probably not going to be accurate at all. I'm also not going to take into account any possible trades that could happen because we know there's going to be so many draft trades. I just can't really figure out, are the Knicks going to trade up? Are the Grizzlies going to trade up? Are the Spurs, Pacers, they're going to trade out? Are the Kings going to trade their pick for a player? We don't know, so I'm not really going to try to predict that to really screw things up. So I'm just going to keep the draft order. If you guys do enjoy the mock draft videos, it will be obviously my final one for this 2021 draft. Just drop a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it if you enjoyed all the mock draft and draft content throughout this year's NBA draft. So I won't waste any more of your time. We're going to get into this. Also, quick shout out, I'm going to be live streaming my reaction to the draft on probably the first round tomorrow night. So take a look at, or you can just set your calendar for that if you want to just come chill out with me as I stream the draft. So first pick, not even going to think about it. It's Cade Cunningham. There's been reports that they're doing due diligence on Evan Mobley, on Jalen Green, but that's what every team would do. That would be kind of silly to just say, all right, we're not going to even look at any other players, because what if they bring in, they're like, all right, we're only drafting Cade Cunningham, and they just don't like his personality, or what if Cade Cunningham is who's the guy from draft days? Bo something? I don't know. Whoever that quarterback was. What if nobody showed up to his birthday party? I'm just messing. But, they got to do their due diligence. It's Cade Cunningham all the way, though. And he's going to be the number 1 pick. I think the number 2 pick will be Jalen Green. I think throughout maybe the tournament, a lot of people thought it would be Evan Mobley. I thought it was probably Evan Mobley till about 3 weeks ago, and then I'm like, all right, it's going to be Jalen Green. I think the Rockets look at what the Timberwolves did last year, getting that wing that can really make it, or ceiling raise your team. Because Evan Mobley can be a floor raiser, but Jalen Green can really elevate your team, I think, if he becomes that superstar that he has that potential to be. So that is the second pick. Now, the Cavs, I think those are definite 1 and 2. I think the Cavs are the team that could trade out of 3. I know they like Jalen Johnson a lot, and that would be a heavy reach at 3. So maybe they trade down with a team like the Thunder or the Magic and just take their guy there. So if they do stay at 3, though, I do believe the pick will be Evan Mobley. Even though a part of me thinks it could be Jalen Suggs, though. A part of me does want to go Suggs at 3 and then Mobley 4. Oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do now because that's tough. I think I'm going to actually say, because they're going to move Colin Sexton, that they're going to go Jalen Suggs. They already accepted the qualifying offer to Jared Allen. I think they're going to want to re-sign Jared Allen, even though they could look at a sign and trade with him. But yeah, I'm going to have Jalen Suggs go 3, because normally I would just have Evan Mobley play it safe. But I got to be different. And hopefully I predict the correct order. Maybe a team trades up to take Jalen Suggs. So that means that for the Toronto Raptors, we'll be getting Evan Mobley, the center out of USC. This actually would be a nice fit for them, because they had Fred VanVleet. They'd have Gary Trent Jr. in their final 5 if Lowry leaves. And I'll try to say that a couple times. But yeah, they would have VanVleet, Trent, Anunoby, Siakam, Mobley. That's kind of fun. That is a fun team. Now at 5, I always thought it was going to be Jonathan Kuminga. I think there's still a chance that happens. But Scotty Barnes is getting a lot of love to even go forward to the Raptors. I don't think he goes above Suggs or Mobley, but I think there's a chance he will go above Jonathan Kuminga. And that's what I'm going to predict. I think that the Orlando Magic are going to see kind of a little bit of Jonathan Isaac and Scotty Barnes, and they're like, what's better than one Jonathan Isaac? 2 of them. Let's just take one. So yeah, I have them taking Scotty Barnes. This is looking a lot different from my last mock. I know. I'm trying to predict this right. I'm going to be reacting to this, and I'm hoping that when I'm reacting to it, it's oh, I got those right. So I could just look like a complete idiot. The Cavs take Mobley at 3, and I should have just, did that. So on the board here at 6, it's going to be Jonathan Kuminga with the OKC Thunder. And yeah, normally I would have Kuminga at 5 and Barnes at 6, but I was like, let's swap on. Barnes getting a lot of hype, a lot of love, and I'm going to have him going there. Warriors at 7, I think there's a bunch of guys in play. I think it's James Bouknight, and I think James Bouknight also could be a play to the Thunder at 6. But yeah, it's James Bouknight, it's Davion Mitchell, or it's Franz Wagner, in my opinion. I think they also could like Moses Moody as well, but I think Davion Mitchell is just too good to pass up on to being that back. Because I could see Davion Mitchell, I wish I could see the draft order up here, going to a team like Indiana or even Memphis. But I think that it's going to be Davion Mitchell, and that is going to... or do I like James Bouknight here? He's been getting a lot of hype as well. You know what? We're going James Bouknight. We're changing it up. Orlando Magic here at 8. I think there's multiple different options that they can go with, and I'm going to have them take Keon Johnson, the guard, out of Tennessee. This is looking a lot different than my normal mocks, but I kind of like it. So I think they're going to go with the guard. They already took in this draft Scotty Barnes. They have Jonathan Isaac. They have Bamba, Carter Jr., Okiki. I think they're going to look for a guy that can be the 2, maybe be a scoring scoring option for them down the line, but really help out their defense. That means Franz Wagner would fall to 9, which I think it could be a pick there. So I'm going to take Keon, and I think it will be the pick if the Kings stay at 9. I think it would go down to Jalen Johnson, Wagner, and Davion Mitchell still on the board. Yeah, normally I will have Mitchell going high, but James Bouknight's been getting a lot of like pre-draft type, and I think he's going to go in the top 8. And I'm going to have the Kings take Franz Wagner here at 9. And the Grizzlies, who have just recently made a pick with the Pelicans, on the clock here at 10. Who do I like them? This is tough. I think I like Jalen Johnson. I think Jalen Johnson's a guy that could be similar to Jalen Green. If your name is Jalen, you might just have this potential. So the Grizzlies are a team that is never really going to attract free agents. It's not a big market free agency destination city. So I think they're going to go after that guy that has like a high ceiling that, yeah, he could be a bust, but Jalen Johnson could also be a stud in this league. And I'm going to have the Grizzlies taking Jalen Johnson at 10. I know they like Moses Moody a lot, who I still have on the board. And damn me. See, I have Moses Moody falling a little bit. I don't think he would make it past Charlotte, who might lose Malik Monk. They might lose Devontae Graham. I think they may look for that guy that could maybe replace Terry Rozier in a couple years and be that backcourt guy next to LaMelo Ball. So, yeah, Moses Moody's going to go here to the Hornets at 11. 12, I kind of like the Spurs going Davion Mitchell, but I'm going to have them go, this is tough. This is really tough. Because I like Trey Murphy as well to them, but I think Trey Murphy is like a Warriors at 14 pick. So it sucks because I think it could be Giddey or I think it could be Mitchell. And you know what? I'm going to go Josh Giddey. Yeah, we're going to go Josh Giddey to the Spurs. That kind of foreign connection. They could move DeJounte Murray. We would see something about that. So I have Davion Mitchell falling to 13 here for the Indiana Pacers. Or do I think Mitchell will go? Because I feel like Popovich would love his defensive playmaking ability in Davion Mitchell. And he's a junior. He's easily coachable. He's already had some more experience than Giddey. And I feel like Pop could use that. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to actually go Mitchell at 12 and then Giddey at 13. So with the final pick in the lottery, I'm going to have the Golden State Warriors with 2 great options on the board in Trey Murphy or Corey Kispert. And I'm going to have them going Trey Murphy, who's probably one of the bigger pre-draft risers. He was always like a late first-round pick. I think there's a chance he goes in the lottery. And I think he's going to go at 14 to the Warriors. So here is my lottery portion of my official 2021 NBA mock draft. Some surprises. Suggs going 3, Mobley going 4. And then we have Barnes 5, Kuminga 6. We have Moses Moody falling to 11. We have Davion Mitchell falling to 12. And Trey Murphy coming here into the lottery. So with our first pick not in the lottery, the Washington Wizards, they could go for some defense. But I think they need some long-term answers on this team, honestly. And that is going to be... they need a big. They need some bigs, or they could look at Russell Westbrook's replacement down the line in Sharif Cooper. And I kind of like that a lot to them as well. It's really going to be either Sengun or Cooper for me. And I'm going to them take Alperen Sengun. I think they got to go center. I don't think Thomas Bryant's the long-term answer there. Even if so, they need some depth there and get Sengun. I think the Thunder, yes, they could go after a Usman or Sharif Cooper or a big here. But I think they're a team that knows they're going to be bad. But let's make Shea's life easier. Let's make maybe somebody they trade for lives easier. Or Scotty Barnes. And let's surround them with, Jonathan Kuminga. And let's surround them with some shooting. And let's go out and get Corey Kispert, the best shooter in this draft class, with the, 16th pick, and they already have another first-round pick in this class. So I like that pick a lot for the Thunder because they don't really need to take all these high-potential guys. They got that in Jonathan Kuminga. Why not add Corey Kispert? Like I said, he can make Shea's life easier, space the floor, Kuminga's life easier as well. So I actually love that pick to the Thunder at 16. Pelicans on their board at 17. Speaking of floor spacing and shooting, I think that they would go Chris Duarte here out of Oregon, and he would be a guy that would space the floor for Zion Williamson, make his life a lot easier. We're on the clock here with the Thunder's third and final first-round pick, and they can also now go with a big that just can be a long-term answer. Maybe either it's Kai Jones, Isaiah Jackson, or Usman Garuba, and I'm going to have them take Kai Jones out of Texas, the man that can kind of space the floor a little bit and just compete with Pokusevski and Darius Bazley for minutes at that 5 position. Next up, we have the Knicks' first of 2 first-round picks. I have them going, it's really between Jared Butler, Trey Mann, or Sharif Cooper, and I have them going Sharif Cooper there out of Auburn. I think they need to go point guard. I think they need to sign Lonzo Ball. I would love to see that, or sign a point guard, but I also wouldn't mind them drafting a point guard, and I think they should with one of their first-round picks if they aren't a team that doesn't package those 2 picks to move up. So I would love, for this case, the Knicks to trade 19 and 21 with the Spurs, go up, get Davion Mitchell, but I'm not going to predict that because it's going to be tough. So I'm going to have them taking Sharif Cooper. On the board here with the Atlanta Hawks, a team that's actually looking to trade Cameron Reddish. for an additional first-round pick because they're not going to be able to pay all those guys. So I think they could look at another wing in Zaire Williams here, or they can go back a point guard. Because Chris Dunn really didn't work out, but Chris Dunn, I think, just opted in. So they could go Jared Butler to provide them some defense off the bench. But that's kind of what, or they can go Trey Mann. Ooh, there's some options here. I actually kind of like Zaire Williams, kind of that wing player that I mentioned that they might lose in Cameron Reddish. But I think they will go some defense in that backcourt with Jared Butler. Or do I have them go Trey Mann? That playmaking kind of guard off the bench or that defensive-minded guard off the bench. I think I'm going to have them go Jared Butler. I've been mocking that a ton. And then here with the Knicks' final first-round pick in this draft, they are a team that is going to lose probably Nerlens Noel. I don't know if they're going to pay him because a team might give him a 3-year deal, and I don't think the Knicks want to commit more than like 1 year to probably Nerlens or 2. And Mitchell Robinson's future is still up in the air. Is he the long-term answer at the 5? It's not looking like that, so I think they're going to take a chance on Isaiah Jackson there with the 21st pick. So they have some projects here in Jackson and Cooper, but I think that's fine with them because they are already allocating a lot of minutes to Quickly, to Toppin, to Randall, to Barrett next year, to Derrick Rose. They're probably going to be bringing back to Mitchell Robinson, like I mentioned, and then these 2 first-round picks. I'm sure they're going to want to bring back either Bullock or Burks, whoever they can get out of those 2 guys, and then there's probably somebody else I'm missing in there, but I think that they could go with a big in Isaiah Jackson. Now here we go. We got the Lakers at 22, a team that I think needs some shooting. I'm sure they would love Trey Murphy here. They would love Chris Duarte here, but they're going to get another great shooter, though, in Cameron Thomas to make LeBron's life a lot easier. That's a big thing in this shift. There's a lot of good shooters. Make your star players' lives a lot easier. Go out and get Cameron Thomas, a top 5 shooter in this class. Now we have the Rockets' first of back-to-back picks here at 23 and 24. I think it could be 2 projects, or, I mean, like, they already have Jalen Green, and I like a couple players for them. I like Zaire Williams, I like Usman Garuba, and I like, what's his name? I like Trey Mann. I think one of them, they're going to see Trey Mann at 23 and be like, yeah, that's immense value. We have to take him there. And then I think Zaire Williams at 24 is also immense value. Let's take him there. On the board here at 25, the Clippers, who might lose Serge Ibaka. They might kind of move on. They could use for more some big man depth, and that could be Usman Garuba. Did I say Usman Garuba could be leaving? I meant Serge Ibaka if I did. Or they'd look at like a playmaking guard off the bench of like a Miles McBride or a Bones Highland, but I'm going to have them taking Usman Garuba at 25. All right, we're into the last 5 picks here of the first round. The Nuggets are looking for somebody that they could put maybe next to Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. in the long term. They have Nishan Highland as a possibility, Jaden Springer or Joshua Primo, even Aaron Henry could be somebody they could take here, or even I feel like they could be a Rokas Jokibutis team, Rokas Jokibutis. I'm definitely butchering his name, so hopefully I'll learn it on draft night. I'm going to have them taking Joshua Primo, 6'6", great size, great athleticism out of Alabama. On the clock here, 27, I think the Nets, they're going to also look for a point guard in Jaden Springer, with Spencer Dinwiddie most likely leaving. They need that backup point guard spot to be filled. On the board here at 28 with the Philadelphia 76ers, they could be a team that could be looking for some big man depth in the future because Dwight Howard ain't getting any younger, and they could look for a nice cheap option down the line. So it could be Daron Sharp or JT Thor. I'm going to have them going Thor out of Auburn. I believe he will be a first-round pick. And then I also think the Suns, like, they're going to probably look to bring back either or both Paul and Payne. They could be, if they're not going to be able to bring back Payne, look at Miles McBride or Nishan Highland. But since Jalen Smith really wasn't the answer there as the backup 5, and Dario Saric is going to be hurt all of next year, Daron Sharp is a perfect fit for them at 29. And then finally, with the last pick here in the first round, I think the Jazz are going to look for some shot creation, look for some playmaking off the bench, and that is going to be Ayo Dosunmu out of Illinois. So that is my first round right there. Here it is. As you can, we already kind of went over the lottery, and then you had Kispert, who's 15, Upward Singin, and then you got Kai, Sharif, Duarte was there, Butler, Jackson, Thomas, Mann, Williams, Garuba, Primo, Springer, Thor, Sharp, and Ayo Dosunmu. So I'm going to make my second round picks here, and then I'm going to show you them on the screen. All right, and here's my official 2021 NBA mock draft. You can see Miles McBride was the first pick here in the second round. The Knicks, they got Brandon Boston. I know they're interested in him. They got Josh Christopher to the Magic at 23. Bassi to the Thunder at 24, grabbing another 5. Quentin Grimes, another wing, going to the Pelicans. Bones Highland going to the Thunder. The Thunder have so many picks in this draft. Pistons, getting Johan Begarin out of Guadalupe, or I don't know. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that. Deshi Knicks going to the Bulls with their only pick in this draft. Rokas Jokibutis or Batis. Definitely butchering that. Sorry, but he's going to the Kings at 39. Isaiah Todd to the Grizzlies at 40. Aaron Henry to the Spurs at 41. Joe Wieskamp to the Pistons at 42. Herbert Jones 43. Philip Petrusev to the Nets at 44. David Johnson going to the Celtics at 45. And then we have Jason Preston and Kessler Owens going back-to-back picks to the Toronto Raptors. Then we have Joel Yaya, Isaiah Livers, Aaron Wiggins, Luke Garza, JRE, Neemias Queta, Sandro going to the Pacers there at 54. Not going to pronounce his last name until I hear it on draft night. 50 if he does get drafted. 55 Matthew Hurt. 56 Austin Reeves. 57 Greg Brown. 58 Raekwon Gray. And then 59 Trendon Watford. And finally Amar Sylla out of Senegal to the Pacers there at 60. He will be Mr. Relevant. So that is going to be my official 2021 NBA mock draft. If you guys enjoyed, drop a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. Let me know what you agree with. Let me know what you disagree with. And I hope to see you guys out tomorrow night to come hang with me while I stream my reactions to the draft. So I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the draft content this year. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Peace.